Tonight on Bridge City News, one man is dead after what police say was a targeted shooting at a Walmart store in Red Deer, Alberta yesterday. Environmentalists say it is necessary, but pulp mill workers are losing their jobs after Nova Scotia's premier rejected the mill's request for a deadline extension to find a solution to the wastewater dumping near Pictou Landing First Nation. And Prime Minister Trudeau is defending the Liberals' plan to ban assault-style rifles and to allow municipalities to ban handguns.
Your nation, your province, your southern Alberta. From the heart of Lethbridge, it's Bridge City News with Paul Arthur.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. A 69-year-old man has died in hospital after a shooting yesterday evening at a Walmart in Red Deer, Alberta. RCMP say the man was shot in the front entrance of the store in the city's south end. The store was locked down for a couple of hours before customers were allowed to leave out a back door. The preliminary investigation suggests this was a targeted shooting. Police believe there was just one shooter. However, they are looking for two vehicles of interest that were spotted leaving the scene. The name of the deceased was not immediately released. The store has since been reopened for shoppers. Fort Macleod RCMP are looking for a man believed to have been involved in a fatal crash earlier this month. On December 15th, officers found a 19-year-old passenger dead at the scene of a single vehicle crash in the town of Fort Macleod. And police have now issued an arrest warrant and are searching for 19-year-old Tristan Big Sorrelhorse of Glenwood, Alberta, who is believed to be the driver. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to contact Fort Macleod RCMP. Calgary police are asking for public assistance in finding a Claresholm man wanted on 3 counts of uttering threats and 1 count of failing to comply with a court order. Authorities say 31-year-old Dallas Donald Curtis may be in the Lethbridge area, and they are concerned for the welfare of his victims. Anyone with information on this case is asked to call Crime Stoppers. What is Christmas like on the dairy farm? Local cheese factory Crystal Springs Cheese got into the seasonal spirit today with Christmas on the farm, inviting the public to watch exactly how the goodies are made, including eggnog and a wide variety of cheeses. There were also traditional Dutch homemade oliebollen to sample. They are so good. Proceeds from the $2 admission charge went to support Streets Alive mission. Only a few short days until Christmas, and one Lethbridge charity is hoping to meet their goal to get enough toys and clothes to make it a special day for every child in southern Alberta. The My City Care Shop of Wonders helps families who are struggling to make ends meet. And with the tough economy, the number of people they have served this year has doubled from last year.
So far we've had over 800 kids come through, or not kids, the families with the kids, and we still have over 150 more by the end of Monday. So we're still looking for donations of all sizes and for all ages right now. So you can drop off donations at 321 8th Street South, right at the location. And that goes till 9 o'clock tonight, Saturday, and Monday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. We do see some families come back year to year. Lots of them have volunteered one year, and the next year that they're in need of help. So we've done that. And also the opposite. They've accepted help one year, and the next year they come and volunteer. So that's been always amazing when you see the same face and they're giving back to the community and paying it forward.
Donations of new unwrapped toys can be dropped off at 321 8th Street South. On the priority list are gifts for teenaged kids. It may not be everyone's favorite style of music, but the sounds of tubas and euphoniums fill the Lethbridge Casa building today as part of a worldwide tradition known as Tuba Christmas. Renee Van de Vendel with the Lethbridge Community Band Society explains.
The players come together, and for 1 hour or an hour and a half, they put on one quick concert with just Christmas music. And the concept behind that is that it's not so much about the quality of the music as it is about the experience. So we're spreading the Christmas cheer, so to speak, with our instruments, regardless of the playing ability. So we could have players that have played for decades, like some of us, sitting right next to 10-year-old children that just started playing the instrument 2 months ago. And that's the power of Tuba Christmas.
Environmentalists say it's necessary, but pulp mill workers are losing their jobs after Nova Scotia Premier Stephen McNeil rejected a pulp mill's plea for a deadline extension yesterday to find a solution to dumping wastewater near Pictou Landing First Nation.
And let me be clear, there will be no extension. Effectively today, we are announcing a $50 million transition fund. This will support displaced workers, small contractors, and all those whose livelihoods will be affected. I know how important it is to the sector, but that doesn't mean that you ignore the environmental regulations and rules of our province. And we didn't walk in day one and say we're closing you. We walked in 5 years ago.
This is a very sad day for all the workers at the mill, but not only the workers, for the forestry sector in general in Nova Scotia. So in Premier McNeil's response today, his press release, there is a transition fund of $50 million. Well, let's put that in perspective. The mill, in an annual salary, pays out $40 million for 300 employees. $40 million a year. The transition fund, $50 million. That doesn't include the rest of the forestry sector that are going to be impacted by this irresponsible decision.
Northern Pulp put together an excellent plan informed by third-party subject matter experts based on sound science that showed no meaningful environmental impact, represented a significant operational improvement, and ensured Nova Scotia's forest sector and the thousands of employees could remain a vital part of this economy. It also enabled timely closure and remediation of Boat Harbour. The Premier chose to disregard those facts.
The New Brunswick government is warning residents in the Minto and Chipman areas to close their windows and stay away from the smoke that continues to billow from a massive tire fire at a recycling plant. Multiple fire crews have been battling the fire raging at the Track recycling plant since 2 a.m. local time. Fire officials say they have not been able to confirm if there are any injuries from the fire. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says he won't let resistance from unwilling premiers scuttle the plans of municipalities that want to ban handguns. Canadian gun control advocacy groups argue that local bans are generally ineffective, pointing to what it calls the disastrous patchwork of local and state laws in the U.S. Trudeau is also defending his move to ban assault-style rifles.
I think there is a consensus, including amongst many hunters and sports shooters, that guns designed to kill the largest number of people in the shortest amount of time are not necessarily something that should be out there. Further, we have heard from a number of particularly large cities saying that they want to be able to ban handguns within their city limits. And that is something we are hearing from some very specific places across the country, but not everywhere across the country. And we feel that it would be a solid step to move forward and give cities and provinces those tools to do that. But we recognize that that's not the only way to prevent handgun violence. There are many other things that we are also moving forward, whether it's strengthening things at the border, whether it's ensuring better working with retailers to make sure that there are follow-ups on purchases or more information collected around the purchases of handguns. To move forward on anti-gang programs.
Authorities say 6 people are dead and 13 injured after a fire this morning in an apartment complex in Las Vegas. The city's fire department says several residents were hanging out of windows as firefighters arrived. Many jumped and were hurt. The cause of the fire is still under investigation, but a fire official says it appears to be accidental. Recapping one of our top news stories, one man is dead after a shooting at a Walmart store yesterday in Red Deer, Alberta. Police say it was a targeted shooting. And a look at weekend weather. It was almost spring-like weather today, and that warm trend will continue. A few clouds overnight and a low of -1. For tomorrow, a mix of sun and cloud, and we should get up to +2. Well, it seems much of today's society is far too easily offended, with the likes of Don Cherry and others getting fired for politically incorrect comments. Whatever happened to simply being able to agree to disagree? Our guest, Sun columnist Anthony Furey, chats about cancel culture. That interview is straight ahead. But first, here's a look at what's happening in and around your community.
Here's your Bridge City News Community Calendar. Come for a beautiful and reflective time at the Christmas Eve candlelight service at City Light Church on December 24th from 5 to 6 p.m. Celebrate the birth of our Savior by gathering together for a time of singing and hearing about the miraculous events that took place on that special night. Let's remember that Jesus is the reason for the season. Another Christmas Eve event that is taking place is at the Evangelical Free Church of Lethbridge, where they invite everyone to come for a free community Christmas experience. Enjoy Christmas goodies, activities for the kids, carol singing, and a Christmas message to infuse your season with joy. Times for this festive family-friendly event are 2, 4, and 6 p.m. For more information, visit efreelethbridge.ca/Christmas. And that's your Bridge City News Community Calendar.